FaZe clan. The names you know and love about to do battle. Only one can secure that semi-final spot. And it begins.
Enter waiting, enter watching. And we are straight out the gates. Looking like we're going to be going for a bit of an A play here. It's just going to be JKS to receive. The U-tilt as the, well, most odds on this one. Smokes is lined up. You've got a couple flashes, Molly for good measure. And JKS towards the big box. He now has support of Hunter. Now, Hunter has some util. This would be key here. Smoke, flash, and a HE.
Ooh, does he use it?
He's going to have to
get it out now. The util's coming through. The nade might slow them down. JKS to confirm. No one's pushing the limits. Oh, they are. They're testing him. JKS, first bullet to impress. Is Karrigan gone? broky surging into the temple position. The whole squad on the site now. Twist delaying that plant. Rotation in. The Nico Monacy duo. Dig into Donut. Delayed plant, the smokes have faded, but the headshots are provided. FaZe fill the feed and are eating good.
All right. Looked like that could have got out of control there for a moment. But the Canadians, they're happy with that. And that smoke towards main, they still brave through it. The native Hunter was too early. They hadn't started pushing just yet. And you mentioned the smoke's fading. Well, they're happy to take the fights, and that's going to be a big fixture of today's matchup. Just standing and banging and biffing, and there it is. Karrigan, I think he's going to be the king of the stage here today. The showman with HooXi highlighted on the other side of the server as we do get underway with the G2 Force. That idea should be indicated based on that defensive mid smoke, but quick Karrigan and Rain.
Ooh, Nico's and Deagle though, it is
they
notorious.
Molly.
And a missed Molly would it give him more room to maneuver. However, he is going to drop a very early smoke. Now that's a limited resource, only 2 more remaining for this defense.
Yeah, interesting, he wasn't under a huge amount of pressure right there. May have dropped it a little bit too early, and now as FaZe look elsewhere, top mid smoke deployed as Twist will clear this out. There's a huge gap here. Will FaZe Clan look to find it, or are they just going to group up and try and finish with the rifles here? Looks like it will be the latter, grouping up now towards B lane.
Twists, Rain and Robs already rocking those Kalashnikovs.
They're going to be ahead of the smokes here, G2.
Twist the late arrival.
Good tag.
Already low is Karrigan. Maybe Nico can find something. He does. He beheads Karrigan in a second. He had on his plate. Rain saves himself. And now cave clear. broky provides, and that bomb will go down. Very uncomfortable for G2 now. Likely want to just have another bite of the cherry with these Kevlar, with these pistols, with that scout. Another missed shot. Monacy yet to find lethality. JKS is gone the crawl behind as well. Twist already acknowledging it. An attack from Monacy in the interim. Yeah, he will lose that scout. Twist loses his rifle though. JKS, he's profited from that exchange. Oh, it doesn't look like Hunter should be alive. And he brings the fight. Okay. Thought he could take another down with him, but FaZe would leave with the round and maintaining the majority of their rifles.
Yeah, 1 AK is nice, but how much can you really get done with it here when it would be really the only big investment into round number 3? But happy with that. And some worrying signs for G2 recently on Ancient, right? 3 straight losses on this map. The biggest here in Dallas versus Heroic. That was the series we were mentioning earlier on in the tournament. It was a 16-4 loss. Hoping to turn their fate away. And I know when I was watching some of the Ancient at the Major, some of the T-rounds felt desperate, felt like they were a bit disconnected. HooXi trying to make an awful lot of space on his own, unable to capitalize on that. See if JKS can capitalize on this AK. Feels like FaZe are calling the bluff a little bit. Yeah. JKS is the A-holder, and they're actually sending everybody over towards the site, assuming the AK won't start there. And that's a pretty good assumption. JKS in cave. Karrigan has corralled him for now. And some good energy here this evening. Thank you very much, Dallas.
Yeah, really cool. Completely calls the bluff. Oh wait, the A player saved an AK. Let's go A.
Yeah. Let's see how much damage we can find right now. broky, very aggressive. AK of JKS strikes. Not first, but last.
Yeah, that's something, but he paid a heavy price for that, and no one else really from G2 in a position to do much. You got USP.
2 AK saved. Thank you very much going to the first gun round. I'd say that every day of the week. JKS and HooXi need to back off, hold on to these.
They're on their way to save. Maybe Karrigan lets that MAC-10 go looking. Even Robs is investigating. But nothing too exciting for G2 to celebrate. It is going to be that dream 3-0 start for FaZe on their map pick. My eyes are going to be, you know how we discussed the individuals, but my eyes are actually going to be on the two names we didn't. You know, in terms of the leaders, Hoaxy and Carrigan, it's going to be interesting to see which one of them will thrive in this environment. I would anticipate it is the veteran that is Mr. Carrigan himself. But, you know, G2, not in any way, shape or form losing a game in an arena. I think this definitely qualifies. So when the chips are down, when the crowd is cheering, so far so good for G2, but already losing some records, losing their Inferno record to Heroic.
Yeah, we have to worry more about how many rounds did G2 lose before they get one on the board, because you cascade that, you think about just how many rounds they've lost in a row. Looking for the boost here. A lot of pressure towards B, they're coming straight in. Carrigan leading the charge, He's got the first.
Carrigan onto Hoaxy. That leader head-to-head in the server. Hoaxy dead, one back, and Hunter's gone too. It's all m0NESY.
One bullet.
He's looking for a third. He's found it. Needs to reload, needs to relocate. Bomb plant 2-on-2. m0NESY's made this interesting. broky naded half. Could go down if m0NESY's feeling flicky and flashy. But no, the flash good and found now by Rops. JKS with his adversary's weapon. Oh, he has thrown a couple of bullets through that smoke and a nade back. Confirms presence. Wrapping around though, JKS gonna have to be concerned. He's running out of bullets and health. First gun round for G2, no cigar.
And this is where those problems are going to start to crop up. Remember how blown out of the server they got against Heroic? They only know what losing feels like here. So if they don't get off to a decent start, and it can't be, I thought it couldn't be now. m0NESY's actually been able to get out another AWP here. That's not going to be expected, as we'll catch his highlight reel. So decent shots from him here, but running out of ammo, you can just see how detrimental that was. Caught in no man's land. Rops finds him through the smoke there. And JKS had no idea that broky had pushed up. Now this is curious. It's a m0NESY AWP with some buy purchases around it. I don't think if you're FaZe, you'd be expecting this type of a buy to come through just yet.
Well, he did just start hitting shots, which is something I would certainly encourage.
I think the saved AK's probably facilitated this. There's some extra cash to splash and a risk being taken here on round number 5. Like the default spread here from FaZe. Wanted to see what they're up against. It's quite easy here for them to deal with m0NESY, but he is holding on to a smoke, which is going to be integral towards that donut position. Carrigan having a look now.
Ooh, yeah, I like this. Just dipping his toe. He's very risky, Hoaxy. Gets one in the head-to-head back.
Now some real problems. Oh, Hoaxy trying to get out of down the kill. Massive stuff, spam through the board. Rain low as well. Remember the AWP, they don't know about it.
And Hoaxy has kicked up a lot of dust, causing a bit of a fuss for FaZe. Rops one back. Rain trying to take that engagement. Bomb with him, and oh, it's a nice one back from the Norwegian. And he's got a second as well. Nico just puts his head straight in the guillotine.
It feels like they've dealt with this one now, unless Hunter can really voice some concern. Hoaxy overzealous.
After all of that.
Yeah, m0NESY got sat in his arse, so it must have been a big shot from Rops. And another headshot for Rain, so just aim mapping now. And JKS, the A defender, nowhere near the action here. FaZe 5-0, quite the start, and having really no dramas so far. There's only been spurts of G2 showing resistance here. JKS seeing if he can find anything on the way. Rain is low. He has been sharp. Let's see if he can grab a fourth in the round. JKS not wanting to overstep the mark here. Rain will have to evacuate a little bit further due to his health as it currently stands.
It's worrying if you're a G2 fan that Rain's already looking as sharp as that. He does lose his rifle.
But that's the cave monster, right? You're going to see him bare his teeth on the CT side. We know how much of a nuisance he can be. JKS, not long for this world. Rops to finish him off. There you have it, everybody removed. Can they get back out another AWP for m0NESY? I think it's possible. Hoaxy has plenty of cash. And of course, Swanee, coach of G2, indicating for a bit of a tactical timeout here. A conversation to be had. This is Rain's little aim map session.
But like, it was two players testing it. Like, I wonder if he's still there. Oh, he is. Yes, he is. And Rain's loving life, chilling, killing. 7 frags so far. And we're just 5 rounds deep. First time out from G2's coach. Swanee wants to get on the mic.
I'm curious now to see if they want to take some risks here on the CT side and try and take some territory, right? Fight for mid or fight for B lane just to give them some real estate so they're not getting dictated to. We noticed in the first gun round, it was a walk-up B ramp with some set piece. And in they go. As Hunter and JKS, it looks like the two of them were discussing how they wanted to approach this round. They get linked up between A and middle here. So let's see what their opening is going to look like on the other side of the server. Oh, pretty standard stuff here. Hunter mid, JKS over towards Donut. Oh, Molly out of FaZe here. Does it disrupt anybody jumping up towards the heavens?
Yeah, Hunter, sole responsibility this round of middle. Honestly, same could be said for ramp. It's, well, the cave monster. On this T side, though, we could get a bit of a head-to-head between these rifles. Oh, Rain! He's activated and executed Nico.
He's going to be feeling rough about that one.
Yeah, but wait out, there might be more. Hooksy's dead too.
Looking too easy for Rain.
Walking in and demanding cave control. He might have even snatched the whole round off the back of those frags because it doesn't look like he's letting off the gas.
And what's Modesty meant to do?
Oh, he's selling it with 2 kills and a dump of his util. Forces Hunter to acknowledge the potential. There's gaps all over the shop. So Carrigan looking to eventually cut off rotations.
You have to gamble here if you're G2. You have to gamble. You're down 2 men. They're just going to wait this one out. I understand that the feelers might come on through at some point, but you need to gamble as a unit if you want to get this one done. And look at the gap that Carrigan's found here.
Oh, it's really scary.
Acknowledged too late.
Hunter's dead. Modesty calling, trying to hold on to it, but he missed the moment. And Rob's ready for the JKS boost.
Yeah, well, they knew he had to be somewhere. They're right in the hole, right? He had to be somewhere on that side.
I know, it could be speaking a bit early, but this just feels like the last G2 game we casted, it feels like FaZe. The individuals right now are having no sweat. A triple kill from Rain.
Hunter's yet to get a frag. You've got 1 kill for Nico, 2 for Hooksy, 3 for Modesty, and 4 for JKS. So helping us count here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe they can keep this trend up, but either way, they need to get activated. And it's already starting to feel too little too late. Nico caught off guard by the timing. That's a bit of a tilter. Hooksy steps out to try and take the fight. Rain's already across, and he grabs the final kill there. And these are the frustrations you don't want to be seeing with G2. Maybe another timeout into the next round when the guns come back out, but it will be Deagles, 5-7, couple of MP9s. FaZe are in full control.
And then another different look. Nico does go looking. Broky fires off a warning shot, and it seems like Rain's really happy to bring some aggression into the mix. He's mantled up the shelf. And G2 right now are considering a full rotation. Take a look at the minimap. You gotta gamble. 70 seconds, burrowed into a main 1. A very important smoke, Carrigan loses his head. JKS times it well.
They might not expect Hooksy main, because that was Justin who got the kill. They're not ready for this.
Oh, you're right, Robs rarely gets caught off, and this time, he loses his life. Hooksy to upgrade, can he find more? Twist doesn't think so. A 4-on-3 to retake. Limited resources, it's not going to be easy to get back in. You've got to get through Twist, you've got to get through Broky, and he hits the first. A second now for Twists. Hunter, stubborn, Broky, better, and that's 7. Unstoppable, just taking it in turns to get these multi-kills, keeping a cool head on their shoulders. Yeah. And farming up some cash.
Yeah, flush for cash. That's where I was going with things here. No dramas for FaZe in the buy departments. These rounds haven't been that close to cause them any concerns, and the crowd loving a little bit of Broky here today. Latvian can. You can see him here hitting a couple of tricky ones. Sure, they're just pesky. I know they don't have guns. I know they don't have head armor, but still necessary kills to make here in a round that a little bit dicey. But G2, the guns again, it has to change. It has to change right here, right now.
Honestly, this is a change-up, and the jiggle from Carrigan will be punished. 2A main. And JKS, he brings the pain. Rob's gone. That's the first time we've seen G2 with such a large advantage. You got 2 men to the good, a util dump for mid-control. Broky spotted out. Vision obscured, though. Hunter unable to provide any information.
Yeah, but look at all the space they've given up. It's just Nico here. If he goes down without a fight, they could be in towards B, and this is very winnable.
Oh, bro, it's Rain. You can see what kind of game he's been playing so far on the stage. Nico does put him to rest. Shouldn't be much more from the rest. Twist and Broky, though, warming into things. Miss Molly Good golly, they can't get the bomb down. They're aware there could be more, and there is.
This is so disjointed.
Bomb plant. This two-man advantage found. 4G too early. Can they really not close it? Twist and broky, I mean, they are certainly players you don't want to underestimate. And oh, Twist has got him. Just looked away! JKS delivers. A hugely impactful frag, and it makes it very difficult. Now Hooksy's across. Modesty secures the round for them. And that's the conversion, albeit with a raised eyebrow from Chatty B.
Yeah, look, it's respite here. The fact that they get around on the board, that's great, sure, but there was still a couple of problems there. They acknowledged the gaps that they had given up, right? They were aware that B was a little bit weaker. It was important that Nico got that first kill on the way in, because I could really see that one starting to fall against them here. You saw how much of a fight FaZe were able to put up regardless of these opening two frags that went against them here. Modesty and JKS both combining there. And this all comes down to timing. Counter-Strike timing is a cruel mistress. Twist felt the wrath of that one there. All right, well, consecutive required here for G2. FaZe could get right back into winning ways and break their hopes and dreams. Twist is playing in this smoke here. Ask for a flash. Carrigan getting to pop on out, or they can play in the fade. Either way. And this round score is even with G2 with the opening kills. They might be giving up an opening death here if Monasty's not careful.
That is audacious.
You're not expecting him to pick from this side. No way in the world. What? This is the AWPer. This is such a weird position. Modesty. Oh, the scope. Rain. Yeah, he worked it out, but too late. How the hell did he get there?
Madness, but profitable. Carrigan. Why you're peeking the AWP? Jumps into the jaws of Modesty. FaZe, a knee-jerk reaction. Pace behind this. Nico happy to receive and execute all three. Now the juices are flowing.
Yeah.
Modesty taking initiative, going for a very unorthodox push, but it will start to whittle away at the FaZe Clan coffers.
Yeah, that right there, that's more like it, right? A play from an individual, a move taken, a gap found. This is stage Counter-Strike. Things are going to get a little bit funky here as FaZe, you mentioned, their cash starting to be slowly siphoned out here. They will have enough for yet another buy, and well, in the meantime, the loss bonus is building in their favor. Here's Rain. He hears the scope. He goes, what the hell is going on?
Like, it's like a four-step process. It's the sound, it's the mini-map. That's not my AWPer. Into, oh wait, it's Modesty. Nico finishes with a nice little triple, and that's 2 in a row. We will need to see more, as we've discussed and Chad has outlined.
This is enough here to buy them a potential half buy, and it's a happy-looking Hooksy, which is unusual, but definitely something G2 are going to need here. Now, FaZe, what is the change-up going to be? You've taken the 30-second conversation. Still quite default, a 2-1-2, so slight change-up. It means that there can be a bit more A-main pressure applied, but we've already seen the A-main aggression from G2. Understandable that Rops wants a buddy for that, as well, the buddy system over towards B lane.
Trading smokes. Flash to try and cage them, but Rain, he's got a different idea.
He's lucky to have been able to grab this much space. He's slightly chipped on down, not the end of the world. Hunter ahead of this needs to think better of this open stance.
And Twist down, Carrigan to trade, he can't. Hunter, too strong. There could be more to be said about this one. Don't need to take space when you've got this advantage, but Hooksy, a forward position. Modesty sets him up. And Rain, caught off. Hooksy delivers a compelling frag to convert the third.
Needs to just chill here. It's important for G2 to start keeping a lot of players alive in these rounds. So, Modesty sweeps in, Rops down, looking for that Hooksy push. He was tucked in towards cutout, but look at the space broky has for himself here. The first fight, low HP Hunter on another off angle, so Hunter being very cheeky in this round. Look at this position that he's adopted. There's no way in the world that broky's going to be checking this one out. I guess if you step into it.
He's looking to catch an early rotator. Hooksy actually stopped. He's aware of this potential. Actually, Modesty's even better. Holds it, catches it, and converts.
Yeah, you see some of the individuals now getting a bit more fired up. Modesty's starting to feel himself. You can see him with the cheers after they're winning the rounds. You got to fire up the team, and that's something the Desk are testing over there for FaZe. That everybody, they know that they can do it, right? You know, the chips are down, a player's going to step up with a big multi-kill or a big clutch or something which is round defining, which then becomes game defining for FaZe. G2 are still searching for something like that, right? This team definitely not given the same credit in that regard to be able to come back, but for FaZe, this has only been recent history they've been able to do it. Looking for the B punish here, FaZe. Light a buy, U2 in play, and setting up for the B ramp push.
Yep, here they come. Charging in, Carragher trying to provide. It's Nico laughing at him, spraying them down 3. Charging up that ramp and now sent straight back to spawn. Hunter combines as well to ensure Rops is no more, only broky and unarmored P250 and a dream. Competitive half here, scavenged by G2.
Yeah, well, to go from 7-0 down to 7-4, that is quite the turnaround. Is Nico getting cheeky with it? I think that's the terminology we would call for that, and we've seen how that went for Liquid over in Paris, so I don't know if I would want to be prescribing to any of those silly games.
Yeah, but a headshot feels good nonetheless. Gets 4 out of that one. We've seen multi-kills out of Nico, spraying them down in multiple rounds.
I think one of the keys as well in the last 3 is G2 have denied the plants of FaZe, right? Denying the extra cash incentive, that's going to help them out here while the loss bonus has built to max for FaZe Clan. So they will be able to buy here after that lighter investment. And they haven't opted for another timeout to discuss their options. They'll just be getting straight back underway here with a lack of AWP on broky. So it will be the 5 AK-47s for FaZe to wield. It's this double A main setup yet again.
There's the backing up the multi-kill statement.
This is where the individuals, right? We spoke about how important the individuals would be to a game like this. Nice place, nade. Whoa. Chunky damage.
Yeah, that will leave a mark. The impact of which could reverberate into a 5th.
This is a good-looking setup for G2 here. They have a lot of ground. They have given up certain space, but it's premeditated as m0NESY creeping out. This has all come down to timing here. Oh, elbow spotted. Good back.
Oh, m0NESY multi takes down 2. broky will stamp his ticket back. And JKS activating quite quick on this. He's got Nico to count upon for the site itself.
Another cheeky position here. He can activate late once they give away the Q. Again, like his cousin, they both just stepped into broky.
Yeah, but they know JKS is normally supposed to be there. Carragher not considering it, now he knows. 2v3. Kid on Hoopsy, broky down early, Hunter was ready. And not comfortable for Rops now. Sure, you got a Molotov, but you got 3 to find. They don't have answers in the donut. Look at that smoke, a cheeky one thrown out from JKS.
Might just stick it here.
Yeah, they're on it. And at least the first from Rops, he'd have to be perfect. Ooh. Yeah, not quite. He'll get away, does recover the AWP, so something to be celebrated, but I mean, we've seen a complete 180.
Yeah, but what I had just mentioned going into that round was the lack of plants, and there was one. So with the max loss bonus, the extra cash, their buy is going to be looking pretty decent for FaZe. Actually, it should be full across the board, especially with that saved AWP. But they will opt for their second timeout to discuss the options, because what was working now isn't, and they need to work out how they're going to change the momentum of the later stages of this first half. I really like that maneuver from m0NESY here. He had the support of the players, well, potentially from top mid, who are going to be coming on that fade. But people might be questioning why broky backed off this fight here, right? When they know that the retake, they didn't have any space. You can't just have both of you play donut. You're just going to lose the round in that environment. So broky taking that risk, it might have looked a little bit overzealous, but you can understand. You need a pick before you're in a number disadvantage scenario, especially if you don't have any territory to work with. And there's a bit of a Cooper. No, the guy in front of him, not the guy in the cowboy hat.
What, Banks?
No, not him either.
Oh, okay. That nade looks like it was destined for some damage, and it is. Chips away at the twists.
JKS doesn't have any support here, and they are starting to wander on into his domain. So broky with the AWP, he's going to be tasked with clearing out the platform in the big box and probably holding temple as Carragher and Rops can scale in. You might see them go for the boost up towards the tree. Hunter has now come on over to help JKS out. He's going to be caught in transition here if he wants to slink back to the site. And there's that boost I was talking about.
Oh, they're trying to punish JKS, trying to run him down. He's got support, though.
Oh, still gets one.
Still hits it. Okay, an equivalent exchange. Hunter down as well. The headshot's hit. And the bomb site lost. Nico and m0NESY Is there anything more to be said about this one?
As we'll go fishing, have a look.
Upon the fade, a flash replaces. And yeah, it doesn't look great. FaZe giving him nothing. He's really stubborn about this. m0NESY, yeah, caught by Carrigan. broky, however, his slip up has cost him an AWP. And a couple of kills as well, so no harm, no foul. FaZe will take the 8, but Nico, he will leave with the big green for the next.
All right, decent damage there, but a well-played round, and it caught HooXi off guard. They had taken B lane control, but that split from FaZe, they still had 2 players ready to come through middle after the attack was already happening on that A site. So as soon as HooXi and co try and push B lane and help over towards Donut, they're getting caught off guard by that late mid. So this is great. I can't believe Rob still gets 1 kill here. Immediate trade. So great from Hunter, sure, but JK is going to be tilted about going down in that environment. m0NESY trying to see what he can do, be a miracle maker. And Nico just staying alive with a couple of nice shots. This is it. This is where the half can really change, because FaZe, if they walk away with a 10-5 T side, you get this A-main aggression again. They didn't like how that felt.
How far do they push the issue? Contact inbound. Flash forces JKS, it's unchecked! Uncharacteristic.
You see the games that they're playing between each other, it's just little different positions. This time around, they didn't hard clear that corner. They were expecting him to be on the late swing.
Gets interesting now. Hunter knows the test is inbound, and the nade seems good. Ouch.
It's great with this. They've used mid as the transition point. So not only have they cleared out middle, they're also using it to get themselves towards B. And speaking of B, to B or not to be, Rain. Not ready for that.
Just as the smoke was inbound as well. Perhaps leads you to want to stop expecting contact. And well, at this stage, FaZe, all 3, have actually got a little bit of a red carpet here. Molly, brave from Nico. Goes looking, they'll replace the flame, and the bomb will go down. This could get awkward with a deep smoke.
That one might hurt. That one really might hurt.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what's going on? Carrigan's giving him one back, charging through. Blind as a bat, in the flame, up to broky and twists. He's had a great half as broky. Just relentless contributions, and it's so easy to lock him out. Flash into his face, he turns it well. broky doing everything for FaZe Clan here. A flash of his own design now, trying to bait and not capable. But all it takes is twist to knock him off the bomb, but it's m0NESY's AWP, but he's not gonna miss it. And saved by the retake, 6 for G2. Nico probably biting through his nails during that one.
Yeah, that kind of a swing through that molly, hoping to catch them off guard, but you got to go early in the morning to catch FaZe off guard, more than ready for that type of a plate. And then it put them in the 3-on-3, so you start to really worry. This was the exchange to JKS getting the better of Robs that time round. This could have been the difference maker right there. Some weird in-game leader on in-game leader action in the final stages. But the bravery here, HooXi defuses and the AWP holds the line. If m0NESY misses, HooXi dies. That could have been the round, but Nico now starting to get fired up. They're believing. And this is aggressive in mid. HooXi, he's part of this, is throwing util. It's going to be fast onto A.
There's a lot of pace behind this. JKS has his head removed, still finds one from the grave with the flame.
Rain's got space.
Oh, awkward. Hunter has none. Forced to relocate. m0NESY though,
Oh,
he
left
him up.
him.
Yeah, still finishes. Style points as he finishes with the Desert Eagle. broky aware the AWP could come temple. Smokers faded, can investigate from CT. And down goes Nico to that Robs robotics. Perfect placement of his crosshair, and m0NESY the same onto Twist, looking like he wanted to get away. So the noise will be cut, and HooXi's actually cut off any retreat. Re-smoke CT, Robs looking for HooXi, and he's got him. The Estonian, big frag back. Plenty of time for this 2-on-2. Looking for answers. The flash, so good. Rob's got a good trade back. Just, oh, the smoke is faded. Oh! That stunning headshot to secure it. A 9th round to boast as we swap sides and take a break.
chat with the boys. Man's so tough, but man's keep rapping. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls let it tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch, man, please use pen.
Ain't no surprises here, they knew it was us. Apologies if I was doing too much, but I always came through in the clutch. I got faith restored, why you pushing the brakes? I ain't full of myself, boy, I'm full of mistakes. I came from humble and roots, I'm here to stand and deliver. Had no one gassing me up, except the man in the mirror. I used to work on my handles, and now it's handles of liquor. I write these songs in that dark room, the candle will flicker. I stay practicing heavy, for when the game's on the line. It's like over and over, I run the plays in my mind. I'm a psycho, I'm taking my time. Rushing perfection is a dangerous crime. You gotta give it and take it. That's what you do till you make it. I had to roll with the punches and take the hits from the flagrants. I'm saying the bar raising, we keep moving it up. And no surprises here, they knew it was us. Apologies if I was doing too much, but I always came through in the clutch. An off game don't mean I'm losing my touch. And no excuses, I ain't using a crutch. Apologies if I was doing too much, but I always came through in the clutch. I was falling, had me stalling. I was way down, now I'm falling. I done came up and I called it. I done came in the clutch with the game on the line. I operate from a higher place. Wait, some decisions don't try a race. I'm doing what I can to fuel the flame like a fireplace. To make a bunch of money, buy my mama a fireplace. We make incredible songs to celebrate and get mad lit. Once upon a time in Hollywood, I'm like Brad Pitt. My homies say I live a life, yeah, just a tad bit. Learning how to move in this rap shit. I told them that the bar raising, we keep moving it up. And no surprises here, they knew it was us. Apologies if I was doing too much, but I always came through in the clutch. An off game don't mean I'm losing my touch. And no excuses, I ain't using a crutch. Apologies if I was doing too much, but I always came through in the clutch.
We're back, baby. G2 FaZe, second half, first map. Dallas, are you still with me? That's what I like to see. Ents waiting for an opponent. Two star-studded rosters locking horns here in Texas. And they've made a half out of it. It started 7-0 Sponge. Now we find ourselves at 6-9.
Yeah, well, you know what they say, better late than never. G2 have awoken here. Sure, they don't have the lead, but with a pistol, they are back in things. And both teams, the guns are looking sharp, better than Mike's t-shirt gun, but we're into a fast B. Rain to receive.
What have you got for us? That's something! Headshot straight onto the Aussie. And there's more headshots from Hoopsy. Nearly two. Rain stubborn, can't find Hunter. In the smoke, upgrades the USP, needs to reload though, 3-on-3. Rob's quick on the flank as well. Jakey and MC delivering all that observing goodness, and we've got a 3-on-3 that there is a kid in play. You can see it in front from Twists. POV, bomb ticking in favor of G2. Next headshot is everything. They take contact. It's Nico laying down the law on the Glock. Robsto, he's hitting some bangers. He just doesn't have the time for this. He try and take ahead if he can. G2 playing with their food, and yeah, Robs will maintain his Kevlar.
Yeah, keep that arm up. Better than nothing here, as they will get away with, should be 3 players staying alive and still trying to biff top mid. They don't want to allow this.
Oh, no armor for you. And G2 continue their winning ways.
That's actually key, because there could have been a couple of cheeky purchases coming out from Robs if he did retain the armor. It could have been a little bit of a stronger force that we're about to see here. But that was sharp yet again, and I love that end from G2. All playing together toward the back of the block. They swing out as a unit. Teamwork. Overrunning them with sheer numbers there. Great stuff from G2 to split the pistols here. Now it's about the conversion.
We've learned something about Rain as well. Has no problem hitting a leaping opponent.
Yeah, they consistently just tracks those jumping targets.
What happens next? Find out with us. Rain, oh, tested, locks him in with the flames. Hooksy though, he's warded him away, flash forced, and he does convert. Garrigan supporting him.
That's just made this round so hard for the team.
Yeah, dude, watch out because Monacy's walking about. Twist core out, Robs for the trade, and deleted. Monacy tapping heads and farming frags of G2. Just after all of that hard work for one.
Yeah, this is the thing. If Monacy didn't take that risk, and I'm not sure how much of a risk it is when I think through this, because Hooksy had noted 2 players in cave. Right,
yeah.
So assuming that A is going to be a little bit weaker on in that environment, they're able to. Wait, it wasn't. There was 2 players there, so some good kills from Monacy, necessary frags. But if someone didn't take initiative in that scenario, they would have been in a lot of trouble. You gave up an opening death in the first 15 seconds of the round for what?
Yeah,
right?
No, understandable. But Monacy makes it look like it was all part of the plan.
Okay, well, this one here should be a walk in the park compared to the previous, and they made that one look easy. Here's that Rain, yeah, just. He's jumping like that to buy space for the team, right? So, well, it doesn't matter. Maybe he should have kept his feet on the ground, the Aussie.
Great second frag out of Monacy as well. Like, it could have still got a bit weird had he not found Robs on that box.
Robs on a box could sound like a content series.
Yeah, Robs on box with Fox in socks.
Okay, well, Rain just...
he did something, didn't he?
I bet Monacy jumped.
Did he jump?
I bet he jumped.
That's a mistake. You can't be jumping in front of Harvard Nygaard.
He's become very proficient at that, hasn't he? Is it something that we haven't noticed before, or it's something he's been working on, maybe?
I don't know, man. Certainly a trend.
Well, number advantage here. Plenty of time to work with for both teams, as G2 is still trying to feel exactly where these last few FaZe members may be. Carrigan has a chance, and he is going to deliver a zinger from the in-game leader.
You got any more of those, Carrigan? Give me another one. See how far that hand cannon can go. Smoked off now and relocating to...
This is slow from G2 to get this. Yeah, FaZe can be ahead of them here by several steps. They're taking way too long to piece this one together, and as they're having this conversation, look who's getting closer.
Yeah, Rain has really got behind the whole team. The bomb down. Awkward now. Hooksy and Nico. He wants to get up the ramp, and he will. They're limited resources. This is an armored or unarmored Deagle round. FaZe have somewhat of an advantage, but rifles and Kevlar and a bomb plant. Oh no! They lost Nico. Hooksy in the clutch. He can save them. He can save FaZe. He's trapped in cave. Fights to be found. Rain posted, and they close. A smile on his face as they steal a round away. He started that round and he finished it. A triple kill. With only $700 spent for the majority.
That's terrible mid-round from G2. That's woeful. Like, it's great shots from FaZe, and I would love to see this Rain. Not jumping. This time the feet were planted, but just on the jiggle. But that's a woeful mid-round. I don't know what they were doing. It took so long to piece anything together there. In the previous, I'm crediting Monacy for taking a risk when they lost the opening pick. This time, what's going on? Who's taking the chance for G2? They're too busy trying to piece things together. It's not even well done, as I would be smiling if I was Rain here too. But that should have been a freebie. That should have been their round every day of the week.
Just pinned Monacy to the back wall. One bullet. Well, he's got Carrigan trapped so long as he stays posted. And I say that, Carrigan goes looking for trouble. Nico should have him. Oh, Carrigan with the AK. Does a lot, but now G2 respond in kind. Keeping it level and then some. Twist sprays them down. Bomb lost, Monacy into the site, Smoker's faded, looks to replace it. Molly could be good too.
Monacy needs to live. He needs to live. Look at Hunter. He just needs to stay alive. Puff up the chest. Seem like more than just one player. Monacy just needs to stay alive here.
That's why he's dumping Util. He just picked up another smoke. He's going to make it look like 2 players. They're all looking away. This could be miraculous. As he's making as much of a fuss. Look at them all staring at this one man. And it means perhaps Hunter can finish this. Monacy found, and now they're aware. broky considering the options, and just like that, FaZe ascend to an 11th.
Yeah, Monacy's doing everything he can right there. Everything he can to just try and stay alive. You can see the reposition in the cave, trying not to give away his life, doesn't want to get stranded towards the pillar. I don't think they even knew exactly where the bomb was in that environment, but it's just FaZe pack rolling. Teamwork here on the CT side. A great multi-kill from Twist right here. And Monacy getting caught off guard. broky exactly ready for Hunter's play. And another round slips through G2's fingers. They're down to Nico.
Yeah, frustrations. You can see that they really realized or knew just the ramifications of that. And so close, tantalizingly close to G2 converting on that flank. Ooh, opportunity! Punishment! m0NESY nails Twist with a Deagle headshot. Sure, Twist finds him though.
Yeah, but that was the only investment. How are you meant to get that one back? Rops and broky are both making sure this isn't possible. You want to cross this gauntlet to grab the Deagle? Don't even think about the gun, and Rops is coming your way. Bomb down now.
It's just a sign that m0NESY's pissed. 19 frags. Invest into that Deagle, just trying to get something going for G2 because they can feel this one slipping through their fingers.
Remember, we do have Inferno coming up next. And the question was, will G2 be able to pick themselves up after lost to Heroic just the other day? Well, they have found a little bit of pep in their step, a little bit of spirit, but looking likely to find themselves another loss here. Remember those stats that Matthew Maniac was quoting you regarding G2, this roster and playoffs. Well, might have another notch against their name here as far as the map department goes, as we will see only the second time out for G2 so far, and it has felt like they've had multiple moments of struggling here. But Swanee obviously not feeling it's been necessary. Call it now to see if they can change the flow of this second half, because we've got 3 consecutive out of FaZe since that Deagle round win. And as you mentioned, it was Deagles without armor. There were some banger shots from range, sure, but that is a momentum shifter in a game.
Oh, yeah.
The scoreline should have been much, much closer than this. It should have actually been tied up 9-9, and now it's 12-8.
And that fumble, I mean, with those rain Deagles.
That's crazy, right? When you think about it, the score should have been 9-9, and now it is 12-8. And you go into that first gun round, you would have had the advantages if you were G2. So that is a massive round loss here, one I'm sure the desk is going to be talking an awful lot about. And take a look at this CT setup from FaZe. We do see this from Rops an awful lot. He likes to use it so he doesn't feel so pressured over towards his side of the map. It frees up broky to assist elsewhere.
Oh, Rain's been spotted out, Hunter. He could have them both here. Significant damage dealt to Van Dolken.
Necessary push here coming in from Mr. Cool. As Hunter, he's seen enough, done enough. That's a nice run up for a smoke there from broky. Well, at least deny the vision of m0NESY for now, but there's still plenty of other bodies for G2 to make sure they keep things tight. Decent forces here for FaZe to still win this round.
They want to fight. And Carrigan, he has to smoke himself off. Gets away from the Nico crawl.
3 in cave.
Yeah, susceptible to a ramp push. broky knows he's got to take space. Proactive. Nico and JKS, they do impress, and now crunching into B. broky helpless, and it's probably in their best interest to maintain.
Yeah, especially with this level of investment, right? And they don't know exactly what Rops is wielding thus far. So hold on to these, use it as a surprise in the next round of play. See if you can do a bit of damage on the way out. But they dealt with that cave play quite nicely there. As Twist and Carrigan got found out, even though broky did manage to scamper. It's good off the back of the timeout that G2 are able to profit, and you have to accredit this to Hunter in middle. He's been given a position where essentially he gets to decide how he reacts to the util that gets thrown, right? And the fact that in that round, FaZe decided to throw the one-way top mid, well, he knew it's likely to have players floating around, and he did 1 kill and a bit of damage to another, so he did an awful lot to find the opener, which then set G2 up to the position to close. So great stuff to Hunter. And we'll draw this back to just a 3-round game, so maintaining that lead are FaZe. Can buy again, they have these saved guns. Big pointy AWPs, and well, apparently no need for a timeout of their own here. What comes next for G2? Because they have to start settling into this T side as far as gun rounds are concerned. There, as I mentioned, it came down to Hunter manufacturing that opening pick. Is that something that you want to try again? Is there a different point of the map that you want to pressure? This is a different setup from FaZe. It's just rain on B, so very heavy towards mid and A in the early stages. And the fight in mid from Hunter is good again.
2 for 2. Back-to-back rounds, it's Hunter who delivers.
That's just a position where you're trusting in a player like Hunter to get away with a move like that. And the fact that he's been able to do it 2 rounds in a row, you need to convert off of this. It's such an advantage that he has given you.
I think G2 were starting to, close down shop. Close down mentally. Hunter might have just given him enough for a second wind. Thank you, Dallas. Goosebumps. Gamer chills all over my skin.
Hey, in a round that didn't offer us an awful lot, that was entertainment. You get to play a part, so thank you very much. As this is going to be G2 getting themselves up to double digits. FaZe with another save. Going to hold on to their goodies here. Should have more than enough to get a gun into the hands of Carrigan in the next round of play. And one of the factors that we were getting pointed out by Ben, our stats guy, was obviously just the proficiency in the opening kills that continued for G2, even though the rounds didn't necessarily always fall in their favor. And here on the T side, they've been doing a good job of those opening frags as well. We just discussed Hunter and his back-to-back openers in mid. Honestly, had another with that Deagle. Sure, it was only on a bit of an eco round, but starting to get back into their groove are G2. And this is the tussle we were hoping for here today. Didn't want either team to come in a little bit sleepy. Wanted them to make sure they came in ready to brawl.
And if you're FaZe, and if Hunter's walked into mid twice successfully, is there a rebuttal? Is there a response? Do you have to acknowledge that if that's where those two openers have been found?
You can do, right? I think one of the issues might come in here is, oh, looks like we got a bit of a tech timeout, everybody. Give a cheer for our league ops. You know, they're always ready to go. Just a little headphone issue for Ops here, so don't you worry, we'll get this one sorted and get it back underway ASAP. But before we talk about any of the particulars, there we go, they're back on. So yeah, I think you're right, you do want to fight for this mid control here, but this is the mind games of this level of Counter-Strike, and we've been talking about a lot in recent history, is G2 know that as well. So if you're going to put a lot of your resources into middle to deal with Hunter, G2 could opt for something a little bit faster towards A or the B site and just try and zone you out here. Just make it all about getting it done with positions alone, but it's curious to see which bodies they'll throw into it. Do you want the AWPs in the extremities? Do you want one of them supporting in middle? And yeah, if you take a look at the blue dots on the radar, they want to fight for mid with ROPS and Twists.
They're coming. The whole squad to fight. Hunter's not alone this time. He's losing health, and they've lost Hooksy. No response. Hunter looking, and he's only found death. Misery handed to him. ROPS is doing a lot on the AWP. And just like that, FaZe respond with a flawless round.
Damn, and if you break it down to what you were prefacing there about fighting for middle, FaZe did, and G2 were ready for it. That's why they had so many extra bodies, but it just looked clumsy on the way out there. I'm not sure what the factor was, but a little bit disjointed. And there it is, all five staying alive. A beauty from FaZe. The saves, they pay off. Worth their weight in gold here. So nice response. They once more get back to this 3-round buffer. They've been maintaining this throughout. After that 7-0 start, don't forget, this looked like it was going to be an absolute whitewash here, but back into it. It's still G2 chasing this lead that FaZe have set. So still chasing the tail, still trying to catch up. Yeah, and Hooksy there, he probably feels it's too disjointed. It should have been someone a little bit closer for a trade in that example. So, threw more bodies at the problem. Turned out to be an issue for them. Okay, well, Rain here, coming with a big boy performance. We know that he does his better work on the stages. So in the groups, only 16 kills so far, 21 in the first map here of the playoffs for FaZe.
Yeah, we saw the desk talking about the big game players of G2. Well, the big game player for FaZe, it seems, Rain.
Mr. Major MVP.
Yeah, for a reason.
Going back to what's tried and tested here at G2, it is just Rain, the man of the moment. He'll have an awful lot on his plate here as Carrigan and broky have gone on a mission of their own. They're coming back. They'll be rotated in time. So there is a setup available, even a boost being erected.
What do you do when you're smoked off?
Step boost.
Up and over. Spotted and missed. Look at the damage. Look at the frag. It's 2-4-1. G2, it's their site now. Couple of shots through the smoke, nothing connecting. JKS successful in getting it down, and Rain looking to recover, but thinks better of it.
Yeah, especially on 15 points of health there. Don't even give them a leg to shoot at. You can see Monacy, the line that he was trained on. So G2 will respond immediately here, and that was just patience. And then they executed into the site very proficiently. Nobody stepped ahead of the smokes. They waited for them to plume before they pushed into the site. If they didn't, they would have been very open to that AWP. So good stuff here from G2 to keep things competitive.
But yeah, making Carrigan and broky rethink the setup there. You could see how limited their options were. They had some ideas, but everything they tried just falling a little flat. Looks like we're going the distance, map 1.
Yeah, and I'm just taking a look at the scores on the doors here. You've got Carrigan down the bottom for FaZe, no surprise, and Hooksy down the bottom for G2. So the mental warfare is going on. The two of them yet to crack double digits, the only two in the server, but that's par for the course. And that boost, yeah, the fact that they couldn't get, as soon as broky got smoked off on the first boost, he was already coming for the second boost, but to make that one happen, a little bit more technical, and especially under pressure, as FaZe will be taking their third tactical timeout here. You got Raban on the mic, conferring here with Carrigan, the Brain Trust, working out how they want to apply their trade into this next round of play.
This crowd certainly brought the energy today. We'll see which half of the arena will be happy after map 1. A divided crowd, certainly a spectacle. But FaZe, that 2-round lead, let's see if it can become only 1.
This is so important here. If G2 can win a round and rip all the guns out of FaZe Clan's hands, they're going to break the money and then draw this back to likely a level game, or G2 can even get themselves into the lead. So every round for FaZe, you can understand why they're saving. The loss bonus is not in their favor here at all. They lose a side, they have to save as Rain this time springs into action, takes a lot of space, has been allowed to do so by this G2 setup. They're giving all of this. Look at all the util that's been dumped into this space. G2 have given it to them. Hey, take it. You can replenish the smokes, you can get him down, but what do you have for late? What have you even got for the mid-round? It's a minute 25 and G2 are starting to get a move on.
Yeah, Twist might be hearing something from the donor position. Broky's got a smoke to stare at, trying to edge around it, try and find something to stand in. He's found a nice angle. Oh, he lets it go.
Hooksy's across.
Hooksy's into the big box. And the A site now looking a little more vulnerable and susceptible. Broky at least ahead of the util. This is going to be a brawl now. This is going to be a fight. Broky lets one go. Modesty does not. Can't finish him off though, down at 20 HP. A late arrival from Nico, but they have the body on the site. They've got Hooksy and Temple to confirm it. The bomb from Hunter is concerned about the flank.
This is a hurry up and wait moment right now from G2. You can see the transition that's starting to come into play here. Hooksy is going to take a little bit of a look here.
Oh, Carrigan's definitely not ready for this, and a snappy shot.
Red carpet rolled out right now towards B. They don't know it's clear, but they have pretty good suspicions. Twist has already made a kill over towards the site, and Rops holds A.
We discussed what this round would mean as well.
Are they going to try and take the guns away? That's the difference. Ooh. Look at the time, so low. Bomb getting planted now down towards B. Now does Hooksy call out the hunt? You don't want to give that AWP over, but you can send a couple of these AKs. Take everything away. FaZe will have to eco.
Twist, first victim, Hooksy. A lot of impact in this one. And that was off the info with a fakery. Bringing that bomb back to B, wide open.
Oh, now some questions for FaZe to ask themselves here. They have 3 players who can buy and 2 players who can't, right? They can get an AWP out, they can drop some rifles across. Actually, they're making the money work real nice here. These silencer fours, those cheaper investments, they've actually been able to master 3 M4s, 1 AWP, a kit's in play. Carrigan has to work on a CZ, sure, but not as broken as I thought they'd be. Even though they removed all those guns, it's still just not quite enough.
They may not be broken, but I think Broky wants some redemption. A couple of missed shots on that. In a close game, high stakes, damage inflicted through the boards. Rain looking for his 22nd frag, and we know he likes to survey this cave position actively. Hunter throws a couple of bullets through.
This is the pressure point, and it's the right pick here for G2. This is where one of the FaZe individuals, if they show up with a miraculous multi-kill, one of those magic moments we know the individuals are made of, that could silence G2 on this comeback trail.
Wow, look at the restraint from Carrigan. Nico was trying to bait it out, still holding on to that smoke, a limited resource, 2 remaining. Still Carrigan stubborn. Trust in his judgment. And we're at 45 seconds now. If he can hold on for a second longer, that smoke will be worth its weight in gold.
Take a look at the radar. Rops is on his way over as well. There'll be 4 here, perfectly placed. 35 seconds left on the clock. They have to go through. They have to pop flash.
And that's what Carrigan's counting on. What have you got? 1 and nearly 2. Twist has got the double up. And now it's fallen apart.
overstate the stoicism of Carrigan right there. The fact that he just held on, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. You want to play this slow game? You want to milk down the clock? I will hold on to this smoke for my life. And that's exactly what he put on the line right here.
It wins them the round. It wins them the round. That is that stalwart leader brain. He wasn't falling for any of your wicked games, and he gets that smoke out right when he needed to.
Damn, that type of round, they cobbled together that buy, they make the finances work. It was light on you two. Carrigan didn't have a gun. There was one defuse kit. Not an awful lot to work with at all, and they still make it work. As G2, they're the ones to have a conversation now to try and get these finances across the line. Not sure if JKS is going to be so lucky here. He might be the one operating the pistol. Hooksy not dropping him that AK-47, the in-game leader wanting to wield it himself. As this is it, FaZe. They have maintained the lead throughout this entire game. The 7-0 start now looking to close 14-12, a 2-round lead as we get back underway. Monacy,
Wow.
a massive risk, and he didn't even see the player dipping back out. Monacy, hanging around.
Different intentions. That's apparent. As they want to try and overwhelm. Robin, cool. Hooksy nails it
How's he done that?
somehow. Mid-air. And Hunter builds upon it. G2's A side now
Excuse me?
rumbled. And okay, Hooksy, cool your jets, mate. Giving him an AK as well, trying to scare him off.
We know what this means, right?
Yeah.
Another FaZe save.
I mean, they've had plenty of them.
Yeah, and they have paid off, right? Definitely take your toys home and bring them out to play when the sun is shining. But G2, they have continued to chip back in. Just when it looked like they're the ones on the ropes, they'll bounce back with yet another round. But at no point throughout this game have G2 had a lead.
I need to understand if Hooksy's boots touched the ground or if he had a little bit of a divine intervention on that
Might
one.
have did a little bit of magic on this.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. He got planted by Rops's bullets.
And then this one, charging through the smoke. An eyebrow raiser, but he's a space taker. And it leads to an important round for G2's. Just a one-round game here.
1900 loss into the next. Looking at the guns getting put together. Carrigan's got an MP9, Robson to a FAMAS. So still, again, this fragile economy has been the entire conversation point throughout. As we see JKS throw out the insta-window smoke there. Surely, FaZe don't go... Sorry, G2 don't go back to those slow games as Hunter's back up to his usual antics.
Oh, Rain, yeah, they're asking questions of him. Forced away by the flame.
Look at all the smokes in middle. Essentially 4 smokes dotted across the course of middle here. 3 of them being T-sided. So you can see just how much investment is used for mid-control early for G2, which means it only leaves them with 2 smokes left to finish. Currently 1 on Hooksy, 1 on Nico. So for any executes, they better use them wisely. And Carrigan back up to that same play.
Yeah, but there's an extra 30 seconds this time for G2. So long as they don't capitulate, we should be looking at a...
They just have to apply more pressure. Apply more pressure. Try and bait that util out. If you don't, Carrigan's just going to stand here and keep doing this all day of the week.
Oh, he's still hesitant now, gets it down. Rain, oh, that's an opener from Hunter.
They blocked both choke points, cave and ramp. So remember, I said that G2 only had 2 smokes of their own. They've already used them. At this point here, we have no smokes left in the round with the T side. It's just twists.
That was a bit of an over-investment if they don't have territory off of it.
Gonna have to trade out here.
The whole G2 Samurai squad. The last of the smokes bloom.
Fight's coming. They're messing around with nades.
This is weird now, Chad.
25 seconds, they gotta
This
get
is
a move on.
weird. 20 seconds, start your stopwatch.
They faked him out. They faked him out. They'll get the ball down.
No.
They'll get it down. Don't you worry about that, FaZe. They know what's going on now. The rotation's starting to come in.
Oh no!
Did they just save again?
Yes, I think they will.
Just completely outmaneuvered late.
Get wrecked.
Oh, we have had some great little exchanges here, and this is just with the calling, with the pieces being moved around the board.
Oh, that is magnificent.
Wait, hold up.
Yeah, 1, maybe even more from that FAMAS. Robs catches Hunter at least. But that was just to kind of delay the hunt.
They're cutting them off at the pass here, right? Hooksy looking, JKS2, Monacy going to join that party over towards middle. Hooksy's very low. He's not going to get anything done here. He walks in and broke his AWP. How many more guns do you want to throw at this G2?
Oh, I think they'll take it. Oh, what a transfer. Nico jumping into broky, and that's taken from him as well. And G2 fans elated, they know what that means. Broken at the end of the game.
Yeah, no worse place to find yourself in this situation. The CT side, and we've spoken about them walking that tightrope of the economy the entire time, and when I thought they were broken a couple of rounds ago, no, they pulled a rabbit out of the hat. They had more than enough cash. And this is it, so this late fake here with the mollies on towards the site. That was all that it really took to draw the rotation, because FaZe, in that number down situation, they had to respect it. That's the transfer from Nico, beautiful stuff.
But yeah, you're right. By using all of their smokes early, you think, okay, how are you supposed to fake it out? How do you maintain the fake? You've got mollies left, you throw them in unison, and you
hope.
Sprint.
You hope. You hope that it's enough. It's a tactical timeout, the final one for FaZe here called. They are going to take the eco. They are going to take the lightest of investments. 2,400 loss bonus into the next. Their rifle round is going to look pretty touch and go as well. And if G2 win this, an absolute sitter of a round, it'll be the first time in this map they have been in the lead.
What, you mean at 15-14?
Exactly.
Wow.
They have been chasing this FaZe tail the entire game, from 7-0 down to a 9-6 half to a pistol win to a chance to go 9-9 fumbled. But they are still in this, and this is still on. Broky's got a couple of flashes here for the mid-fight, Alex. This can still get a little bit funky.
There's the flash from Hunter.
They called it off. I thought they would have been ready with this, so broky had flashes. Never mind, Rain had a head.
Yeah, past tense, and the rest falls into place for G2 to take the lead for the first time in round 29. A dream start for FaZe, 7 rounds out of the gate. And don't forget about that Deagle round as well.
Yeah, exactly, right? And that's one of those rounds that why you'd be slightly scared in a scenario like this, but no Rain Deagle. They didn't have any extra cash to even try and look for kills like that. And right now, the only player that they can turn to with a hope or a prayer is going to be Rops on the site. Twist and broky are coming, sure. There's always a chance, but come on, man. We're talking about USPs here and a couple of flashes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that 5-7 that gives me a little bit of something. Robs wants to go aggressive. The flash was there, but Nico doesn't care. And that's 15, folks. G2, 1 round away from taking FaZe's pick.
And this one is going to sting if you're FaZe. To have the type of lead that you had in this game, to now be back at round 30, having to take it to overtime on your choice, and that's just to have a chance. Remember, Inferno coming up next. G2 have stayed in this. They have been grinding throughout. Not every round has been pretty, but they've been able to get here. And FaZe, for them, a lot of this half has felt like saving, like you haven't been able to contest, like you haven't been able to fight because of the financial situation, and getting sweaty is Carrigan. It's time to feel that heat. Round number 30, let's get this one underway.
Action stations, maximum concentration.
Look at this biff for mid. They can't let Hunter get up to his tricks. Hooksy, he's trying the A play again.
This is mad. They're already in. FaZe Clan, you have to fight for this one. Trying to extend play, but Monacy doesn't care.
No kit.
Yeah, sure, he's on B, but the bomb's down A. And this is awkward, no kit, chat. They're just charging in. Hooksy, he calls them straight into the A site.
But they can't win the round, right? Think about the plan. Think about where it is. How are you meant to get in here with Monacy on the flank?
Maybe Robs has found them a way in. They're charging out of the donut position. Smoke on the bomb.
Oh, gets interesting now.
Yeah, most definitely. And Monacy hasn't finished his meal either. broky's still alive, and Nico plucks Rain from the sky. Another from Nico. It's all Nico. He cleans up, and G2 take map 1.